Tuesday, or should I say Happy Valentine's Day from me and Trixie. Oh, she's so heavy. Say hello to everybody. She's too busy watching out the window because when she's so little that she cannot see out the window unless she sits on my knee. So it looks like I've got a dog. Family are out, so I'm on dog sitting duties, aren't I? I do have to go out actually. Well, I'm supposed to go out, but I don't really want to because it's so flipping cold. I've got to bag up and parcel up the, well, you can see the bags in the back there looking very untidy. I have to bag up the crochet, not the crochet, the cakes of cotton mixture that I'd sold on eBay. I've sold a few, but I've still got one or two left if you want to take a look. So I'm supposed to post them today, but it's so cold. So cold. I was cold last night, people. Yeah. Despite having those, you know, those heated packs with like beans in that you put in the microwave. I had 2 of those in bed and I still couldn't get warm last night. You know, I was never this cold. Well, I've lost my coffee now. Where's my coffee gone? Where did I bring it? I did bring my coffee. No, really. Oh, it's over on the desk. It's going to be cold by the time we finish this. Still, never mind. It was the thought that counted. So I've never been as cold as I've been this winter in this house. Because like everyone else, we're economising, you know, not putting the central heating on. I've lit my fire. I don't care how much my logs cost. I can't be cold. I've got the coldest feet, and I think I've told you, the coldest hands in the world. This is why I'm always wearing something. I keep meaning to knit myself some fingerless mitts with all the beautiful sock yarn that I've got, because it's far too beautiful to make into socks. But I just haven't seemed to have the sort of... And also I'm supposedly trying to make things for this craft fair, which I've not got much enthusiasm for, but I need to, yeah. Yeah, my friend at the knit club, she was crocheting one of those basket things, I think I told you in the last video. And they have this big sort of blankety yarn for sale at, oh, it's oldie, I think it's little. But no doubt by the time I get down there, they'll have sold out anyway. And I can't really justify buying any more yarn. You know, I mean, I've had such heavy expenses this month anyway. Nope, not begging. Please don't think I'm begging. I've watched videos before when people are moaning and groaning and saying, oh, I haven't got enough money for food this week because of this, that and the other. With the PayPal address underneath. No, that's not me, mate. Whatever I don't have, I will do without, yeah. So, anyway, that's by the by. I will get my logs. I've got the money, don't worry. So, I am not being cold for anybody. And I was thinking last night, I thought, you know, you get these wild thoughts when you're lying in bed and you're fast asleep, well, trying to get to be fast asleep and you can't because you're too flipping cold. I thought, where did I put my sleeping bag? Oh, yes, you got rid of it, didn't you, when you moved here? Do you know, if you could go back a couple of years into the past and grab the things that you have given away, got rid of. Like I'm now in the process of looking for a big baby doll, yeah? And I'm thinking, I had 2 big baby dolls that came when I had the shop. I kept them. They were display mannequins. They used to be in the window of the shop and I kept them. And I used to use them to display my baby items. Moving here, can't bring a load of dolls. Gave them all away. Yeah. So now I'm like looking on eBay. Oh, there's a doll there, 15 quid plus postage. And I'm like, oh God, I gave all mine away. Yeah. I wish I could go back in time. If I could go back in time, I would grab my sleeping bag. I would look for the sandals and the trainers that never made it here for some reason or other. They must have gone into the wrong box, which went into the donate box instead of going into the keep box. Lovely pair of trainers. That's by the by. So I would grab a sleeping bag. I would grab my dolls. I would even grab Paris because, by God, the mannequin. If you've been a member of my YouTube for a long time, You remember the saga with Paris. She's a 6-foot mannequin. She was absolutely gorgeous. She cost me £100 and something, and I had to sell her. I sold her for about 30 quid, I think, to somebody. She is now a mannequin in a World War II exhibition, wearing a World War II nurse's outfit. Yeah, and the guy who came to pick her up, I mean, I shouldn't be rude about anybody who's height challenged, because I'm not very tall myself, but he was really small. He was about 4 foot something. So he came with a tiny car, and I'm like, this is going to be good. I should have videoed it, because it would have been like, you know, you've been framed or something. Trying to get Paris in the back of his car. I mean, she did come apart. She twisted at the waist, so her legs were separate from the body. And as you all know from my videos, her arms fell off, yeah. But he struggled. He had it this way, he had it that way. He was trying, he was, and as I said, he was such a tiny man. It wasn't so much that he was short, he was tiny, slim little man, yeah. So he really, really struggled, yeah. Anyway, eventually he got Paris in and off she went, yeah. I called her Paris, by the way, because she had a blonde wig and she reminded me very much of Paris Hilton. So that's why she was Paris, yeah. So the first Paris broke altogether. She was on one of my old videos where she fell apart completely. She was stuck up with gaffer tape and everything, which you call it duct tape, I think, in the US. So she was bound up everywhere with this grey duct tape. So I got rid of her. I gave her away because I couldn't sell it because she was in such a mess. So I got Paris number 2. So it was Paris number 2 that went to be a World War II nurse, yeah. So I've still got a thing on Millie. I'm surprised she's not laid in front of the fire. She has such an expressive little face. If she comes in and I haven't lit the fire and she's cold, she gives me that withering look. I don't know whether you know French bulldogs have got that look, yeah? They, And she looks at me, she looks back at the fire, she looks at me again as if to say, come on, light the fire, come on. You're slacking, Grandma, light the fire. But Rosie has gone into the conservatory. It's actually a bit warmer in there because I think we've got two tiny little sort of wall heater things that are on very low. And because it's glass and tiny bit of sunshine that is shining goes in there, it is practically one of the warmest rooms in the house. This lounge is one of the coldest. And my bedroom last night was like a fridge. So something is going to have to give, yeah. Oh, a big Tuffnells wagon just went past. So delivery wagon. Anyway, how's your Valentine's Day progressing? Mine, of course, is the same as usual. Every year, the postman gets my address wrong. Obviously he does. Because all of the Valentine's cards that I would have got from all my many, many admirers never get here. I know I've moved address, but they never got there when I lived in the other house either, you know. Yeah. And the florist, well, the florist must deliver my flowers someplace else because, you know, the red roses never appear. Actually, cards and flowers have never appeared for many, many a year. But you always live in hope, don't you? As I said before on the last video, you live in hope and you die in despair. I've ceased to even look for a Valentine's card. There's no bow on my horizon. There hasn't been for quite some time, really. Unless you call a crochet hook your love of your life, yeah? That could be the way, couldn't it? The crocheting is the love of my life, yeah. And crochet's not like to send me a card, is it? Yeah, still. But when I used to get cards off my ex, you know, they were never done with the right feeling behind them. You know, it was more a case of, oh, I better get her a card, otherwise she'll have a face on, you know? Which isn't quite the same as somebody sending you a card with, how can I put it, great affection, great love, somebody who wants to please you, somebody who, well, not please you is the wrong word, isn't it? But, you know, somebody who sends it in the right mood, yeah? The right, how can I put it, what's the word I want? Words, brain, the right kind of feel, you know what I mean, the right meaning behind the cards. Yeah, you want somebody who sends it with affection, somebody who says it because they really mean it, not somebody who says it because I better get her one, otherwise she'll moan all day. In that case, really, I would have rather not had them, and I never got any flowers. Oh, if I said something about I hope I'm going to get some flowers, I get a tatty bunch, you know, they buy at the garage. You know, the really tatty bunches that they sell at garages. Yeah. Because of course, if you go in the supermarkets, they've hiked up the price of the flowers. You know, the prices of the flowers are absolutely... I'm sorry if you can hear drilling noises. This time it is not my son. My next door neighbour, Sean, next door, that way, has got himself a new van. And it's a works van. So he's fitting it out with, you know, all the shelving units or whatever he needs for his job. So he's, you know, got all his tools out on the driveway and he's drilling away there. Driving Rosie absolutely bonkers, yeah. Because you know what she's like, the slightest noise, you know, a sparrow fart in the street next door. And she's... This one, of course, couldn't care less. She's quite happy. She's leaning on me. Well, I have washed the Frida Kahlo poncho, but I don't have anywhere to block it here. Again, let's go back 2 years. I used to have a massive big patio table on my decking. And so long as it wasn't raining, I used to be able to pin out and block everything out there. Here, the patio furniture has been put away for the winter. It's all in the summer house. So there's nowhere for me to block it. I suppose I could block it on top of the redundant hot tub, which doesn't have any hot water in it anymore because we're cutting down. You know, days when you would love a nice hot tub. We've drained it, you know, it's drained, yeah. So maybe one day when the heating bill situation sorts itself out, because quite frankly something's got to give. People of the UK and other countries, I presume, cannot keep paying all this money, you know, for heating and stuff. But in the summer, bear in mind, you see, we won't need the central heating on, so maybe we can afford to fill the hot tub again. Anyway, that by the by, I could actually use the lid of the hot tub to block, you know, this out, but I didn't think, well, it was raining actually at the time. So I think I'm going to have to try and find an iron, which is something we don't normally use in this household. Because as you can see, the flowers are rather bunchy, when they should be more flattened. Well, not flattened, that's the wrong word. But more spread out, you know, the squares are not evenly. And of course I have still got to fringe it yet. But whether I will wear it or not is another matter. But whether I can sell it or not is yet another matter. As I was saying on my other video, that, you know, I've got imposter syndrome. Thank you for all your lovely comments. So many people actually agreed with me, saying, you know, they feel exactly the same. And if you wonder why I'm in drab and dreary today, it's because it's so flipping cold. This I got many, many moons ago, so don't even ask me where I got it from. I've had it years. It's like a ruana, a throw or whatever. I've got a fleecy dress on that appears to change colour. It's olive green in some lights and it's brown in others. It's weird, but it's a big, long, fleecy dress. That is so long I keep tripping over it and my son keeps saying, will you turn it up, mother? But we're back to the old thing, aren't we? Will you get the sewing machine out the shed, son, please, yeah? Because I've still got to put that zip in my fleece. Oh, Trixie's been a pain in the you-know-whatsy. And I've got my beads on. You can't see them, but I've got my wooden beads. So I'm sort of drab today. It's not my colour. Oh, she's got off, thank God for that. She's sitting in front of the fire now. As I said, it's not my colouring. Whoa! Not my colouring. Does it look green? You see, it looks green in some lights, this dress, and it looks brown in others. It's a strange dress. But I do love my boho-y beads, you know me, don't you? Sorry for waving the camera about, but yeah. I can't remember where I got this from. I bought a few actually, but we're going back, aren't we, to the, if I could go back 2 years ago, would I have given all the others away? I just kept one. I had quite a few actually, different colours. I had 2 in check colours. In fact, the one that was in browns and beiges I did give to Sue, because that's her kind of colours, yeah. So I did speak to her the other day, she's doing fine, yeah. But I do love anything with a fringe. You know, true hippie boho, stick a fringe on everything, you know. So maybe that's what I should do. I should make myself some summer tops with a fringe on, and then I would feel happy. Anyway, today I have got to parcel up all the junk. I've got all the plastic bags. I went into the shed. I think I told you it was freezing in that shed. I went into the shed and I brought plastic bags out and I brought the sellotape. This is a part of my past that I kept. This is the sellotape holder that I had on the counter in the shop. It weighs a ton, but I insisted on bringing it with me. I hate when I'm doing parcels, having to fiddle about with one of them little fiddling things, you know, with the sellotape on that you buy in the shop. They're about yay big, aren't they? And you like that, Trent? Hate that. Where are you going, Trixie? Where are you going, Trix? You looking for Rosie? She's in the conservatory. She's giving me that quizzical look. They've just been out for a week, so they don't need that. So that is what I'm going to do this afternoon. That, and I've got washing. Yeah. I nab the washer when my daughter-in-law is not around, because I think she washes for the street. My ex-husband used to accuse me of always washing. He said he couldn't make his mind up if we were the dirtiest family in the street, in that we created so much washing, or the cleanest family in the street. He couldn't quite make his mind up, because he said I made washing. I try not to make washing here, you know, I try to make things last twice, instead of where, when I lived by myself and I had places to dry things, you know, things used to dry because the house was warm, I would wash everything. Every time I had anything on, just for half a day, it would get washed, yeah. But here I have to be a bit more frugal. I have to think, will that do another day, you know? Not underwear, of course. Never underwear. I'm talking about a cardigan or something, you know, top thing. Something like this, I wouldn't wash it, you know, when I've had it on once. Something like this. Because to me, if my body's clean, my underwear's clean, and I've got a dress on, this is on top of everything else, so unless I dribble down it, it stays clean, doesn't it, yeah? But, I mean, it's been too cold to wash my big coat, you know, the big coat you go out in every day, that takes about a week to dry, yeah? Unless you put it in the tumble dryer. But that needs a good wash, really, but I keep thinking, I did put another coat on yesterday, which my niece bought me about 3 or 4 years ago. It's a big padded jacket. I think I explained to you once before that it said it was purple when she ordered it, and when it came, it does shine a little bit purpley in certain lights, but it's navy blue, yeah. Everybody else sees it as navy blue, and I see it as navy blue, which is not my favourite colour. As I did explain once before, when you've lived from the age of about 6 or 7 up to 17 wearing navy blue every single day of your life because it's a uniform, you can't really see navy blue in the same light, yeah. And also I don't wear it because even though it's a beautiful thick padded jacket, it's got one of those stupid hoods, you know, which are made out of flimsy, and they roll down and go into your collar. I like a big hood, preferably with fur around it, you know. It's so cold on that seafront. Anyway, my son said to me, oh, that's a new jacket. Have you bought yourself a new jacket? I went, no. But then again, go back in time. I had a selection of coats, almost as many as Elise Bouche from what she called the the girl who does the vintage clothing anyway, she comes from Sweden, I think, wherever. She has more clothes than a shop does, yeah. I'm not that, well, I used to be that bad actually, but I'm not now. And I do miss my clothes. I really do miss my selection of clothes. I think I've told you before, I think to myself, I'll put that on. Oh, I haven't got it anymore. Oh, well, I'll put that on. Oh, no, I've not got that anymore. You know, can I go back a couple of years and bring everything with me? Mind you, I would get a bigger house. I'd have to have a bigger house. Yeah. Existing in 2 rooms is not me. Maybe, you know, optimistic me again. Maybe when I've sold crochet garments that are in the shed, I will be able to cycle half of my wardrobe in there. You know, put the winter things in there in the summer. Oh, hello. Thought somebody was ignoring me there. Put the winter things in there in the summer and put the summer things in there in the winter. Yeah. And that would free up space, you know, within my bedroom. Yeah. I have an up and over bed which I could use for storage, and I do use for storage, but it's mostly bedding and things like that. It's so difficult. I find it so difficult to lift it. I was thinking, oh, I'll put my woolies in there. It could be great. They'd be all spread out. I can see what they are. But the thought of having to yank that open every morning to look which sweater I want to put on. No. When I bought it, I never thought about how hard it would be to lift it up. So, I mean, I can't say every morning to my son, can you come and lift my bed for me? Because, you know, he wouldn't be in the mood yet. But it's got a very short little ribbon thing that you have to pull up, and it keeps going down inside. And I've got quite chunky hands, and I can't quite reach it, and it hurts my hand to get down. You know, I've no feeling, you know, no sense, no feeling. So, and I keep thinking, I'll put another piece of tape on it, but I'd have to stitch it on because it isn't a loop. It's like a piece of a very, very short piece, which is too short to hang over the. You think they would have made it, wouldn't you, long enough to hang over the bed, so you know that it's always there, so you could reach it no problem, pull it up, it would go. But no, it's so short it like falls down in between the bed. So I need to get a very strong piece of some kind of tape. Back we go 2 years ago. Who used to have that tape? Me. Who got rid of that tape? Me. So I need to get a little piece of this strong tape, because ribbon won't do. Ribbon will just rip, yeah. And do that. So I can lift up my bed with ease, yeah. So I'm in a bit of a mood today, because, you know, I've got a little tablet Kindle thing that I read when I'm laying in bed. Can't sleep, which was most of last night. And the little lead thing's gone wonky, and you have to wiggle it to get it to charge up. So that's annoying me this morning. Yeah, the fact that it's cold and I've had to light the fire is annoying me this morning. The fact that I've got to parcel up the things that I've sold on eBay, not many, but a few things, is annoying me. I get so easily annoyed these days. I think it's my grouchy old age, or whatever you want to call it. But I think that after being a yes woman all my life, you know, yeah, never saying, no, I don't want to do that, no. Always please, a people pleaser, that's me, people pleaser. I think when you get old, you deserve the right to say, no, I'm not doing that, or I am grumpy today, I am grouchy today. I just don't feel like doing it today. Why should I? Yeah. Because tomorrow is a busy, busy day for me. I've got to go and have the mould that I had zapped off my back checked, just to make sure it's okay. Then it's knit club, and then in the evening it's another knit club. So to make my day complete tomorrow, I would need a phone call, you know, about the Lost in Space scooter. Yeah. Which I didn't have one this morning, so I presume that he still hasn't found it from wherever it is in transit, lost in space, like we say. So we'll see how we go. Anyway, I've got the dryer on. I have to have the dryer on. Sorry about the extra expense on the electric, but there's nowhere else to dry your stuff. I've tried putting it on a rack, you know, for a clothes area in front of the fire, but it still doesn't seem to dry. I have got a sweater hanging on a coat hanger, you know, very elegantly, near the fire. I managed to make a room look tatty in 5 minutes. I have that knack. My son goes mad. He always says, they're a bit neat, a bit minimalistic, my family, yeah. I'm not. I'm a bit chaotic. That's the way my brain works. My brain works in chaos. I just don't have that tidy gene, you know. I don't have this tidy up as you go. I do have to do certain things because I have to tidy my wool away, because if I left anything around, Rosie has a passion for balls of wool which she drags all around the garden and unravels, yeah. So I have to make sure everything is in a bag. Mind you, having said that, she dragged an organza bag all around the garden once, spilling all the contents everywhere, and she chewed a big hole in it and got the wool out anyway. But that was a year back when she was a puppy, so fingers crossed she doesn't do it anymore. She does love pom-poms on hats. She likes socks, she likes gloves, she likes anything that she can chew. She chewed up a piece of cardboard that she'd found, and it was all scattered over my bed the other night, and it was all in little pieces, smaller than a postage stamp. And I thought, oh my goodness me, where did you find that from? But it was the card that I'd had that necklace on, you know, when I bought it off eBay the other day. The lovely Marks and Spencer's necklace. If you don't know what I'm talking about, a few videos back. I had it on my Sunday video. It's like the one with the flowers on it, yeah. Well, it was on a piece of card when it arrived, and that was what she'd found. She'd found it in my bin, and she chewed it up into teeny little pieces. And they both have a passion for wood. I have to watch the wood, you know, from a log burner, otherwise they've chewed it. One of them's got a passion for lumps of coal. Well, it's the smokeless coal. She chomps that. Why do I have dogs with weird... You know, they don't play with toys like everybody else. You can throw a ball at them, and Rosie will play with a ball if she's on the beach or she's on the field, but she doesn't want to play ball in the house, yeah. Neither of them are into the squeaky toys, whereas my Buster, every week, every Saturday when I went shopping for my weekly shop, I had to buy him a squeaky ball, preferably. Not a squeaky animal, he didn't like that. Squeaky ball. Oh, that's telling me to shut up, yeah. No, every week I had to buy him a squeaky ball. And the reason I bought him one every week was because by the end of about 2 days, he'd demolished the ball with the squeaker. Gone. Anyway, thanks for keeping me company. Bye for now, and I'm going to try and upload this. Bye now.